Hello. So this is a little random, but I was going through some old videos and I found this old horror movie that we made back in 1997. We were about 13 years old. It was October half term, so it was like the week leading up to Halloween, and we were off school, and two of my friends came around to play like you used to, and I think I just said, let's make a horror film, and they went, yeah, because that's how easy it was back then to do these things. So we filmed on that was like Monday morning. We decided we were making a film, and we made it up as we went along, as you'll see. And we filmed for about 3 days. I think it was Monday to Wednesday we filmed. On the Thursday I edited it. It was VHS player to VHS player, the old way. And on the Friday it was done, and we premiered it at a Halloween party, which was good fun. That was a great holiday. That was yeah, a really fun time. The reason I thought I'd film this is because I started watching it and I thought this is so weird. I need to like talk about it to someone, so I thought I'd talk to the internet about it because it was quite funny. This title screen was done. I used to do my graphics, if I can do the air quotes again, graphics on Atari ST. This was done on some weird little like graphics tablet I bought from Toys R Us. Um, I was about 2 months off getting my first PC, so like fancy graphics hadn't come into play yet. So I had this sort of retro graphics tablet thing. I mean, these graphics probably look retro in 1997. It's yeah, not great, but yeah, it was just this thing you plugged into your TV and you could like doodle on it. It was quite good fun. Um, yeah, that's why it looks so poor. And also, like I said, VHS player to VHS player, you'd play the sound effects in live as you're editing, and then you'd play that through onto another VHS and play the music in live with a mixer, and then when you were giving copies out to your friends, you'd then copy that again. So it was like a fourth generation VHS, which is why it's so blurry. Also, this is an upload onto YouTube from like 10 years ago, so the quality is awful, but hopefully you can still see what's going on. If not, I'll guide you. I'll hold your hand through it, and I'll explain what's going on. Not that there's much to explain. It's the dumbest thing you'll ever see. But right, so let's rewind and have a look. So I will keep pausing because I'll introduce us all and explain things. But that's me on the left with a lovely full head of hair. I'm wearing the red. On the right is Ben. That's one of my good friends. I still see him around. Also with a good head of hair. Still has it there, unlike some of us. But yeah, we're always like filming stuff together. So this was just like one of many. But this is like one of the few that have survived. I think it was just one of those things where like, oh, let's just start the film in a park. So I don't know why we're lobbing a ball at each other. I don't know why, but we'd heard the name Babe Ruth in a movie, and Ben wrote Babe Ruth on the ball, so we decided it was signed by Babe Ruth. Although he calls her a she, calls him a she. But yeah, it has no relevance to anything. It was just. I don't know. I don't know why we locked down these poor pigeons, which I feel bad about. But they're dead now, so they don't mind. This graveyard we used to film in all the time. It was like our go-to place to film in the park. This grave we used to film all the time with this grave. I think we decided because we hadn't been like haunted or killed or anything that the person in the grave obviously liked what we were doing and approved. So we used this grave every time we needed like a zombie to come out of. I think we used it like 4 or 5 times. Just kept walking all over this poor person's grave. Again, I feel bad about it, but so, yeah, still there. I still haven't been haunted yet, so that's good. Ben could scream for decades. I think he was about 25 before he could stop screaming. It was like well after his voice broke, but eventually the sad day came where he could no longer scream, and it was a very sad day for us all. So this is Sai, this zombie, another good friend of ours. This shot, he was walking backwards for some reason. I think we decided that walking backwards was more like zombie-like. So if we put the mask on backwards, you'd look like a zombie. But I think we gave up after like doing it like 3 times. But I miss this sort of day where you could just put a mask on, like a zombie mask, and you'd be like, he's a zombie, he's got a zombie mask on, so he must be a zombie, and that would be enough. The audience had to use their imagination. That was it was a good time to make films when you're in that mindset. I don't know why that baseball makes its body explode, and that stuff was horrible. It was like tomato puree and stuff. We didn't really know how to make fake blood. I love that there was a guy just doing the gardening in the graveyard while a zombie ran past. If the camera was on the floor, you can see all three of us, but because there was only three of us, if there's like two of us in shot, it meant one of us was filming. I clapped then to cue Ben in to. I used to talk about this as well. I clapped Ben in to talk about it. I think. Yeah, that little clap there was me telling Ben it was time to start talking. A little thing we put on his hand, that was an afterthought. I think we filmed that on day 3. It was like the source of his zombiness, and he's not wearing it in like most of the other shots. We just decided we needed like a plot point on day 3. This was Ben's house. I spent a lot of school holidays in this house. I don't know why the zombie is so like desperate to get to us. He's climbing up a drain pipe to get to us. That makes no sense. Ben had the attic bedroom. It was like the ultimate dream as a kid. So I was so jealous of it. I don't know why we fall over. We both fall over when we get into his room. Nothing makes sense. But we liked falling around. And then the zombie climbs through the roof, which is normal, isn't it? I'm so useless in this fight because I just wanted to film and I liked jumping around, so I'd like fall over and then I could just concentrate on filming them having a little fight. Yeah, again, makes no sense. But it's not very often you see a zombie having a fist fight, so I think we're breaking new territory here. This is like revolutionary stuff. I filmed this on the swivel chair, so I was like using it like a dolly, so you get these like quite nice for what this sort of film is, nice tracking shots. That's me falling down the stairs. I'm so useless, can't fight for shit, but that's still true today. Yeah, we used to love like filming us having like play fights. It was just like, it was awesome. It was an awesome time. I was a dummy there. That was me falling down the stairs. You can tell it was me because my jacket's hanging at the back. For some reason I would do the stunts if my friends didn't want to do them. Although we all did our fair share of stupid stunts. I love they just films a shot of Ben's cut on his head just to make sure you could see it. So I actually hurt myself jumping over this wall here. It's I think I can't do this, like, just go get him. I don't know why we're getting the zombie now. Like, the zombie was chasing us and they were like, we need to get that zombie. I don't know why. Nothing makes sense. But yeah, I hurt my leg at that shot, so I was just like, yeah, I'll film you guys for a bit. So this is all filmed in fish ponds in Bristol, and it all looks the same. Obviously it's like very 90s in this video, but yeah, it all still looks much the same. It's quite nice seeing it in its 90s splendour though. We had all this like glorious sunshine, which you don't really get 3 days in a row in October, but just made filming easier and continuity easier. Not that we really cared about continuity back then. I've spotted like 8 continuity mistakes as it is. This is that was Ben's poor little sister. We just used to drag in to like do things like that. But one, I like that she went through a phase of saying "Flaming Nora" all the time. So Ben runs into her and she shouts "Flaming Nora," which is that's like an old person thing to say, not a little girl thing to say. But also, I love that that was enough. This little girl was enough to stop Ben getting the zombie. It's like, a little girl, I bumped into her, now I can't get the zombie. He's too far away. And he just looked straight in the camera. Oh, this Wendy house was obviously I was a shit actor, but me and my sister used to do like adverts, which was quite cool. But we used our money, we clubbed together and bought this 2-story Wendy house, and we were like talk of the town because we had this like 2-story Wendy house. It was awesome, and we always used it in all our films, even when we obviously outgrew it at this point. Yeah, it was just cool to like film it. This was like on day 3 when we suddenly realised we had no plot, so we devised this whole thing where he had the source of his powers on his hand. So we filmed this little bit. We're so uncomfortable in this scene. We know we have to like talk on camera, and we don't know what to say really.
How are we going to kill him? He's been stabbed and all that, and he's still.
I'm so nervous. He's been stabbed and all that, and he's still alive. Ben just comes to the conclusion that red thing on his hand is the source of his zombiness. And then we the zombie is there pouring petrol on the house. It's like, I mean, it just looks like a thug in a mask, doesn't he? It doesn't look like a zombie. Yeah, this poor Wendy house, we like did all sorts to it. Let's think of a way how we can kill him. Should we go down the park and do it?
Maybe chop off his hand or something?
It's because we filmed the park stuff. It's like 2 days before. We just used to light smoke bombs off in the Wendy house, and like nearly die of carbon monoxide poisoning or whatever. I'd smell like shit for the rest of the day. But yeah, we were always setting fire to things and lighting stuff in that Wendy house, so somehow survived to tell the tale. I think this was day one. We were just like the zombies chasing us and we're running through the park. So like, it's the Killer Instinct soundtrack, which was like the game of the moment, I believe, and the game came with a CD, so we just used it for everything. But yeah, I think on day one we were just like, let's just film ourselves running through the park being chased by a zombie, and then as the week went on, we started to like piece together a plot. Like the zombie throws a stick at us. Yeah, nothing makes sense, like I said. I think we just filmed ourselves for hours just running through the forest. It was such a good time just doing this sort of stuff. I wish kids did it more often. Kids have got like such awesome technology. They could do all this stuff with their phones, but I don't think kids really do it these days. But I had access to my dad's video camera, so like, let's make a film. I was always doing that. The zombies like trapped in some sticks, all kicking the leaves. There was obviously a big pile of leaves we built there, and we just thought that'd be fun to kick the leaves. Nothing of interest going on here. But yeah, this was the glory days, just running through parks, chasing each other. That t-shirt I'm wearing is a bar in Greece that I went to for a stag do about a month ago. So obviously when I was a kid as well. I love how like we're trying. It looks like we're trying to look cool, but really we're just trying not to kick the camera. Oh yeah, we found this like grate, so we did this whole scene where the grate falls in the water and we're like dangling over the water for some reason. It was like 2 foot away from the water, so it was like and the water was about that deep, so it was hardly like perilous. The zombie is trying desperately to push us in the water. I don't know why. I like this bit though, because the zombie just watches us and then disappears, and we just get back up. And the biggest continuity error of the film occurs now, where the zombie has a gun for some reason and shoots Ben. And this is an accident. I didn't mean to fall towards the camera, but it looked cool, so we kept it in and then did that bit. I thought that looks awesome. And then this bit. Was it this bit? I think we filmed this bit on day 1 and the gun bit on day 2 or 3. So this bit we didn't realise he'd been shot when we were filming it. So he just like gets shot and then he's just like back up and running. But this was a really high cliff, and if my kids did it, I'd tell them off so much, because like we could have died up on this thing. Like we're literally jumping around on this thing, and it was very high. And yeah, if my kids did it, I'd call them little shits. But this is this kind of stuff we did as kids, wasn't it? Yeah, it's a proper drop. Yeah, it makes my legs go just thinking about it. Yeah, like I said, we're a bunch of maniacs. You can tell actually we're having this play fight, but we're shit scared to go near the end, so we're like falling down into little balls to make sure we don't go near the edge. I don't know why the zombie's now got a knife. I don't know where his gun's gone. He's like punching people. It's great. One more zombie. He's got his knife and he stabs it. His body explodes. Oh no! He's just like dangling on a little ledge. More blood. Oh, this is this scene. I'm gonna go back. So yeah, he gets stabbed in the hand, and then clearly the zombie is now me, because you can see my jacket poking out the back, and we're clearly at a lower ledge now because there's suddenly a cliff behind us. But I remember this scene well because Ben says, "Die, you bastard," and then he told me to cut it out because, or do it again because he didn't want to swear on camera, and because he'd get told off. But I didn't want to fall off this ledge again, so he goes, "Die, you," and then it cuts away, and it cuts back, and then you can hear Sai on camera laughing because he said, "Die, you bastard." But zombies are already dead though, aren't they? But and he could have been a bastard. I don't know. Yeah, die you, and then back on the top, and then back on the lower ledge. Sai's laughing, and this is all me. I haven't made any attempt to cover up wearing the jacket. And this fake arm just like falls off for some reason. And it was that thing on his hand that kept him alive. That little rubber ring with a gem in it. Yeah, who'd have thought? And yeah, we've killed him. Ben's wearing the bag of props on his back. I remember at the time he had the bag of props on his back, and we're just like, oh, whatever, it's the last shot, let's just get it done. Yeah, and that's it. That's the film. That CGI was not done by me. I used to be able to buy like CGI on VHS tapes with like titles and captions on it. I just used to put it on all my films, and people go, "Wow, CGI!" It's like, yeah, but no, it was just something you'd buy from a catalogue at great expense. I think it was like 50 quid for like a half-hour tape full of like little graphics and stuff. So I used them all the time. I think it was like I begged my parents to get these little CGI videos for me, and that was it. It's such a weird little film, but I hope you enjoyed it. It was good to look back at that. If you did enjoy it, I might go back through some old movies again and discuss them. But yeah, that was, so what were we there? It was 1997, 24 years ago that was. Yeah, I remember like taking that into school and showing it, and like you'd be like a celeb for the day. People would be like, I saw some, I want to be in one. You'd be like, yeah, let's do it. And I think we did try and make a zombie 2 and get all our school friends in it. It just never came to fruition. And then by the time we're like 15, you don't care about making films anymore. You just want to like be cool. That did change when I got to about 18, started making films again, and never really stopped. But yeah, such a fun time doing all that sort of stuff. Anyway, hope you enjoyed it, and maybe I'll see you again for another one.